Welcome to Patriot Talk. I am Todd Holman. No subject for today. No research done. No statistics to give you. Just a rant. For those of you who know me, and for those of you that have been watching my videos, you know already that I am a veteran. I am a veteran of 20 years. A veteran that served honorably. A veteran that was given the privilege to retire from the armed services. Something that, if given the opportunity to repeat my life, that I would do it all over again. There were bad times, there were good times, but truly an honor. I am part of the Veterans Health Administration system as a patient. The VA has come a long way. Some may not agree with me. Some may not know. But the things that we would see in movies and TV shows about the VA and the way veterans were treated had a lot of truth to them. But they have come a long way. It's still a long way to go. And part of that long way to go is what I want to rant about. As someone that is, middle-aged, I have some health issues, be it physical, mental, metabolic. It comes with life. Some of it accelerated by military service. And if you're a veteran, you definitely know what I'm talking about. Most of our military careers, we are told to suck it up and move along. You are hurting, you have experienced bad things, but you're told to suck it up and move along. You're told that if you go to medical too much for something, that you must be a sick-all bandit. And that's not a good thing. So a lot of veterans, while they were active duty, ignored a lot of things going on with their bodies and minds, so it wouldn't be put in their record. So that they wouldn't have that title or that label of being a sick-all bandit. So, depending on your service, they may have different names for it, but in all, it's the same. The VA will base a lot of your service-connected disabilities to what's in your military medical record, or what you claim within the first year or two of getting out of the military. If you wait longer than that, it's harder to get something service-connected and taken care of the way it should be taken care of. With all of that is the way the VA has screwed with our medical care. Now, you go out into the civilian community, you have a medical provider, a primary care provider, that takes care of you. You as a whole. They are your primary care provider. If they feel that you need to be referred somewhere, they refer you to somewhere to get specialty care. That information comes back to your primary provider. Your primary provider takes care of your whole body. If you have a condition that they feel needs medicated, they will prescribe you those medications. You go to a specialist and they feel that you need medication, they will prescribe you that medication. Now, I understand that, there are individuals out there that are seeking drugs, opioids, etc. But that is a very small part of the population in comparison to the whole population. No, I don't have anything to back that claim up, but, most individuals don't want to go to the doctor unless they need to. Especially so for veterans. About a year and a half ago, I was diagnosed with diabetes. Kind of a shocker, but at the same time not a shocker. It is in my family, so reality was like, well, I guess it was bound to happen. I wasn't in the best of shape, still not in the best of shape. My eating habits at that moment were not the best, but nowhere near being crappy. But diagnosed nonetheless. I've been on several different medications for diabetes. Some that gave me gastric issues, so I was changed. Some that made me gain a lot of weight. I actually stayed on that for a while because it was controlling my diabetes. But at the same time, talking to my doctor, my primary doctor, told him, I've got my numbers under control, but no matter what I do, I cannot lose a single pound. I have changed my diet. I've changed my, physical routine. Just can't lose the weight. So he wanted to put me on a medication that also promotes weight loss. Now, during all this, I'm going to do my best not to mention particular medications because I'm not promoting medications. I'm not promoting one thing or the other. If you have issues, you need to talk to your doctor yourself. But anyway, this particular medication is I believe it's once a week injection versus, a daily pill. The medication at one point was abused by doctors to prescribe to their patients for weight loss. Well, the VA had enough of that. So they took that power away from primary care providers. And they put that power in the hands of the pharmacists. So now I've got to go and have appointments with a Pharm-D, with a pharmacist, to go over my medications and for them to prescribe me what they feel is a good medication. I have to report to a freaking pharmacist to get my medications prescribed to me. Now, if you're watching this and you're a Pharm-D, I don't mean any disrespect to you. This isn't your fault. But did you go to pharmacy school to be a Pharm-D to do patient care? I don't think so. If you wanted to be a primary care provider, wouldn't you have gone to, medical school and become, a medical doctor and then chosen a specialty like internal medicine or gastroenterology or whatever? So now my health is in the hands of a pharmacist. It has been taken away from my primary provider. I was told last October by my primary provider, my doctor, to have a month of cheating as far as my diet goes, to purposefully mess up my A1C, because I had gotten my numbers so good, but the medications were making me gain weight no matter what I did. So he wanted to switch me onto this other medication, but had to prove with a lab test that's what was needed. So you know what? I cheated. I did what my doctor asked me to do. Went and did more lab tests. They came back and it was elevated. Nowhere near what it had been in the past, without cheating, just whatever. But it was elevated enough that it would justify changing to this new medication. After I had already been on 5 different diabetes medications within a year and change time. So I reached out to my primary provider on, the secure messaging, and asked, hey, so what's going on with this? I did my lab test a month ago, still haven't heard anything. Finally answered back. He requested the medication. I could see, exactly when he sent the message. Hey, I put the request in at 10:51. Yesterday. So January 19th, 2022 at 10:51, I got a message from my doctor saying, put the request in. Yesterday, January 19th, 2022 at 10:59, was told that it was denied by the pharmacy and that he's going to put me back onto one of the failed medications that I had been on in the past, the very one that caused my weight gain. One that I haven't been on for a few months. As a matter of fact, I had gone on to a couple other things that I stopped gaining weight and my numbers are under control. But I cheated by direction of my doctor. And now he's telling me that I'm going back on to a medication that was not working for me all around. What sense does this make? So because some people abused what this particular medication can do, it's not an addictive medication, so it's not that type of abuse. But the medication was being used to help people. But since it wasn't being used in the manner that it was designed for, the VA put a stop to it because of a price tag. Well, for those of you that have a little bit of knowledge in pharmaceutical history, did you know that Viagra is a cardiac drug? But its side effects were beneficial to individuals with impotence or erectile dysfunction. So now it's used for that. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that all whatsoever. It's not hurting anybody. Same with this other medication. My therapist, my mental health therapist, or as they call it in the VA, behavioral health, which I'm sure that's not the only place that it's called, but honestly, that's the only place I've been for my mental health. And I'm sorry, but calling it behavioral health makes it feel like I have bad behavior. I don't have bad behavior. I've got things going around up here that would not have been there if it wasn't for, I don't know, my military service. My 20 years in, I worked in medicine. I saw stuff. Stuff that I put away back here somewhere for the longest time. I've compartmentalized for people that work in medicine, especially first responders or emergency medicine, that kind of stuff like that. Definitely know what I'm talking about, because when you're in the heat, you can't be emotional. You have to put it away. Well, one thing that all of us veterans are not taught is how to cope with it later when it comes out. This is something that over the last few years has been kind of creeping back up into my life. I have no explanation for it. I don't know why. It just is. And when it started to, I went to behavioral health through the VA medical system, and I started seeing a therapist. It started to help. She had me seen by a psychiatrist, so medications could be prescribed to me. But this particular psychiatrist was like anti-PTSD. He was pro-anxiety. So that's what he gave me. He gave me stuff for anxiety. And he was trying to make me, I guess you could say, do self-therapy, self-coping, whatever, by trying to get me to do things that I did not want to agree to. Nothing inappropriate. Something as simple as at a restaurant, sitting at a table with my back to the door. I don't do that. Never have. If I can help it. I prefer my back to the wall, to the corner, so I can see the whole room. And again, most of you know exactly what I'm talking about. But he felt that I was being silly about that. He actually told me that I was silly. And gave me medications that at first made everything flat. I was like non-emotional, did not like it. And so he cut the dose in half. That's what I've been stuck on for the last few years. And my therapist out there left the VA just when I was starting to get comfortable with them. Excuse me. Moved cross country. Took a little bit for me to start talking to someone in behavioral health again. Found a therapist that, I was actually, I guess, kind of lucky. Someone that actually listens. And suddenly our visits were over. She said, "Hey, our program's over." Okay, so no more appointments. A little bit of time goes by. Some things started to come up again. I reached out again and said, "Hey, I need an appointment. We need to talk." Well, okay, so we did. And find out that this program is like 4 to 6 appointments. Something like that. I don't remember the exact number, but it's a very limited number of appointments. And that's the way the program works. Well, during my last visit with her, I asked her, I said, can you assign me to a psychiatrist so I can get my meds adjusted? Because they're not working. There's something wrong. And her answer was, "No, I can't do that because that's not the way our program works." So guess who I have to talk to? The pharmacist. So now the pharmacist, probably going to be a different pharmacist. I don't know, maybe. But this pharmacist is going to get to play with my mind. Okay, one pharmacist playing with my blood, playing with my diabetes, my body. This one's going to be playing with my mind. Last I checked, Pharm-Ds are not psychiatrists. They're not even psychologists. They're pharmacists. So to be put on the proper medications, I have to do it through a pharmacist. Through a damn pharmacist. And if I fail that part of the program, I go into the next part of the program. If I fail that part of the program, then I get to see a psychiatrist. For those of you who don't know, psychiatrists, they're the ones that get to write the prescriptions. Okay? Therapist, you go and sit and talk, so get to tell them your issues. And they say, yeah, tell me about your mother. Right? So, but it's the psychiatrist. They're the ones that really start to deal with the chemical imbalances, and prescribe those medications to help you. There is nothing wrong with talking about mental health. That's why I'm doing it now. It's taken me a lot to figure that out. What is wrong is to screw with people. This is a broken system. People want to wonder why that veteran suicides are, out the roof. People want to know why, stories, they hear stories of a veteran going to the VA, sitting for an appointment, not getting any help, going out into the parking lot and putting the barrel of a gun in their mouth and pulling the trigger. Look it up. It happens. More often than you know. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that I'm going to go stick the barrel of a gun in my mouth and pull the trigger. I'm not going to go, take a bunch of pills and end it or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that the system is broken. The system is more broken than the veterans it's helping, or they say that they're helping. I served 20 years. There are veterans that are seen at the VA that have been seen for a hell of a lot less than that, even less than a year. There are veterans that have been, in the military for, longer than 20 years, that served honorably. Saying that veterans make up 1% of the population is a misnomer. It's not 1%. It's actually quite a bit higher than that. Which, I find disturbing that, roughly, I think one of the numbers I saw from a few years ago was 18% of adults, of the adult population, were veterans. Okay, that was a few years ago. I don't know what it is now. I could only imagine that it's risen, considering the war on terror, post 9/11, etc. Vietnam, we had a hell of a population from Vietnam. And most of them are still living. So, if you have a large population, a large segment of your population that need help, that served their country, in most cases honorably, and in today's world, in most cases in wartime, then why are you screwing with them? If you have any comments, please provide the comments, down below in the video. Or if you're, clicking on this video through Facebook, throw a comment in there. Please use this video as a platform, okay? Please use it to provide resources for veterans. If you have suggestions, I'm not the only one that could use suggestions. There's a lot of other people out there that probably are watching this video, possibly. I know I'm still kind of looking for more viewers, more subscribers. But if someone came along this video and sat and watched it, maybe there was a reason they found this particular video before any of my others. So, throw out resources, put them in the comments. Email me, and I'll share more of your resources. If you want to just email me, patriottalk1776@gmail.com. At the end of the video, it's going to be at the bottom of the screen, right about here, right? Stand up, speak out, be strong. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already, click on subscribe. As my daughter says, smash that bell. That way you can get the notifications when I put out a new video. I know it's been a bit between videos lately. A lot of things going on. I think I somewhat alluded to some of it in this video. I am planning on a couple more videos coming up soon. So please, share this video. Get it out there. Not just this video, but any of the other videos that I have. Have a good one.